Hey guys, it's me KSMR here, and today I'm going to be reading a Suna Rintarou ex-listener. This one is titled Miss It When It's Done, and this is part 3 in the Miss It When It's Done series. This is part 3 to the series, and I want to say before I start the video, hopefully today or tomorrow I'm going to be updating one of the Tsukishima series I do, either All By Myself With You or Loving, Losing, and Choosing You, or Losing, Loving, and Choosing You, because I haven't updated both of those in like a whole month, and I kind of just like forgot. So yay, I'll be bringing those back too. Probably only one of them for now, and then I'll bring another one back later in the week, I think. But this intro is getting excessively long for literally no reason, so without further ado, let's get right on into the video. Chapter 8. You were running late for class, so you accidentally bumped into someone and fell onto the ground. Sorry, the voice said. You realize just who that voice belonged to, and it was the last person he wanted to see, Suna. He held his hand out for you and to hold you up, but you stood up by your own and dusted your skirt off. Sorry, Suna, I was running late for class. I have to go now. You said as you were about to leave, but he stopped you from doing so. Suna? It's Rintarou for you, he said, sounding hurt. Only close friends get to call you by your first name, and obviously I'm not one of them, you said, not looking at him. But you are. No, I'm clearly not. Why, it's last name for you, you said as you freed your hand from his grip and left to class. He just looked at you and watched you go. Hey, Suna, his girlfriend called. He groaned and looked at her. I need to talk to you, she said with all seriousness in her voice. Suna just nodded his head and followed her to the private place, knowing that not too many students came there. She sat down at the bench and looked at the sky. He could see a sad look on her face, along with a sad smile. She turned her attention to him and patted the seat next to her, telling him to sit beside her. So he did. At first, no one spoke a word, and the wind could barely be heard from how silent it was. I see the way you look at her, she says while smiling. Suna's eyes widened as he knew exactly what she was talking about. He was about to talk, but she beat him to it. Let me do it first. I know you didn't like me in the first place. Even when I confessed and you said okay, I knew that you didn't really mean it. But I was happy, and I know you're always thinking about her, and I know that you love her. Look, I don't know what happened between the two of you, but I know that she's lucky. She's lucky that you love her, she sighed. So don't give up. Don't give up until it's too late. Win her over and love her, she said as she smiled. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have used you in the first place, Suna mumbled guiltily. It's okay, Suna, I forgave you a long time ago. So now go get your girl and good luck, she said as she stood up, smiling one last time. I'm sorry. Somebody thought, it doesn't say who. Time skip. Just go talk to her, Osamu said for the 10th time. Do you think she'll give me a chance to explain myself? Suna asked anxiously. Yes, now go, sighed Osamu. Suna nodded his head and got ready to go to your house. He put his shoes on and dashed out of the door. Your house wasn't really far away, so it was easy for him to go to it. Once your house came into sight, it looked different. The whole house looked dark. There wasn't any cars parked. All the lights were turned off. It looked like no one was in there. Suna began to panic. What happened? He thought as he was looking at your house. He went closer to your house and knocked on the door, over and over and over again, even though he knew that no one was inside. Your neighbor saw him outside and came out. Son, whoever you're looking for, they're not there. That family moved away, the old man said as he went inside of the house. Suna froze in place. You're not here anymore? He can't see you anymore? He doesn't know where you went. What? He asked himself as his voice cracked. His knees gave up on him and he fell to the ground. It started to rain and he couldn't believe that you had left him. He walked away from the house into a park where no one really goes. He stood there looking up. He didn't care if he was getting wet from the rain. He didn't care if he'd wake up the next day with a cold. He needed you, but you weren't here anymore. He didn't know if it was the water running down his face or if it was just the tears. Or he didn't know if the water running down his face was the rain or just his own tears. He broke down. He cried his heart out. He didn't want you to leave. He couldn't believe it. Wyan, he cried. Please, come back, he whispered. He stayed there crying his heart out without keeping track of time. All he could think about was you and wanting you back. Chapter 9. High school was over. Everyone graduated, but you never showed up. Didn't text anyone. It's like you disappeared without leaving any trace behind you. Suna keeps getting worse and worse every day. He misses you so much to the point where he hates you for leaving. That's what he thought. He knew he couldn't ever hate you. He couldn't bring himself to. All he wants is just to see you again. And he won't let you go this time. He wants to know everything about you. He wants just anything to know that you're doing okay. Now tell me exactly what happened. Now let me tell you exactly what happened the day Suna came by to your house and didn't see you there. Wyan called your mother. Sorry, typo, guys. Called your mother the night before moving out. You didn't know that yet. Yes, Mom? He shouted from down the stairs. Come downstairs, we need to tell you something, said your mother. You were confused at first and saw your parents sitting in the dining room. Yes? Your mother didn't look in your way, and it made you even more confused as to what was going on. Is everything okay? You asked worriedly. You didn't realize that there were boxes in the hallway, and the house started to look empty. I don't know how to say this, but we're moving to Tokyo, your father sighed. You just stood there. What? You asked, thinking that you heard him wrong. You heard me right, he said, and you got scared as you began to think, thinking that he could read your mind. But why? You asked as you felt the rim of your eyes burn. We're sorry, but we're moving tomorrow, so you better start packing. Why? You asked as your tears couldn't stay in. I got a job offer, and it pays twice as much as the pay here. I'm doing this for you, your father said. You knew his intentions were good, but you couldn't leave Hyogo behind. You couldn't leave Suna behind. You couldn't leave the twins, Kida, everyone. They're your family too. No, he said as tears fell down uncontrollably. I'm sorry, Wyan, said your father as he went into his room with your mother. That night, you couldn't sleep. How will I bring myself to leave them? You cried silently so you wouldn't wake your parents up. The next day you woke up late and your mother told you that you were dismissed from school, but you had to get your things from your locker, so you did have to go to school. Don't be late, we do have to go, your mother said as you left the house. You ran as fast as you could so you wouldn't be late and accidentally bump into someone. Suna. When you had saw him, you wanted to tell him everything, but you couldn't. You two weren't friends like before. I'm sorry, he said. He held out his hands for you to hold, but he held out his hand for you to hold, but you stood up on your own, dusting off your skirt. Sorry, Suna, I'm late for class. I have to go now. This is a flashback, by the way. You said as you were about to leave, but he stopped you from doing so. Suna? It's Rintarou for you. Only close people get to call you by your first name, and I'm not one of them, you said, looking at him. But you are. No, clearly I'm not. Wyan, it's last name for you, you said as you freed your hand from his grip and left. You lied to him about going to class because you didn't want him to know that you were leaving. Oh, it's a perspective change, I guess. Sorry. After taking your things from your locker, you began to walk home, crying. Your heart kept breaking every second school was out of your sight, along with the park and the convenience store. Basically, all of Hyogo. You couldn't leave, but you had no choice anyways. When you had made it back to your home, your parents were already outside, and they saw how broken you were. Your mother couldn't see her only daughter like that. You put your things in the car before going inside as you turned your back and the view came in of your neighborhood. "Goodbye, Hyoko," he said with a huge stream of tears falling down your cheeks, and you left. Now that you were a graduate from Ichitayama Institute, you were good friends with the people on the volleyball team. Komori kept asking you to be their manager, and you couldn't, knowing that you'd see Inarizaki and him. You couldn't face it then after disappearing out of nowhere without any explanation, and you knew that they would be mad. And now you were standing outside of Tokyo University along with Komori and Sakusa. As you were walking trying to find your new room, you bumped into someone. I'm sorry, you got cut off when you realized just who you'd bumped into. Suna Rintarou. Oh my god. Then I'm gonna cut this off for a little cliffhanging action. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to subscribe and have the notification bell. I'm kind of interested to see where this is going. College now? Shit, okay. Sorry, that was weird. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to subscribe and have the notification bell so you get notified every single time I post a video. You guys are doing pretty good with that, because I posted a Suki video today, and literally within 3 minutes I had 10 comments. What the fuck? That's crazy. I really appreciate you guys for that one. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. Also, like the video because just do it.